Why is there a lack of training for technicians and mechanics?
It kind of goes back to, if you're working at an OEM dealership, you've got required training. They have mandatory courses that every technician has to take. And as you trickle on down into the aftermarket, there is no mandatory standard. So you've got people that have just got some basic diagnostic skills, are able to hold wrenches, that are only getting instruction from their peers or from maybe the shop manager who's been doing it for a long time. So not really having a standard is part of the issue. But the other part of it is who's going to sponsor and pay for the training that people would actually have access to. So I've seen over 20 years, a lot of different training type environments come and go, different instructors that have tried to go it on their own and struggled to make it. But I think a lot of the shop owners now have realized that training is going to be vital to their operation. And now they're coming back and they're starving for opportunities to get their employees in. So outside of OEM dealership, it's always been tough. It's been a challenge. But now I think there's a lot of demand for it. And there's people like us that are trying to answer that call.
Yeah. And even here in Canada, where we have a Red Seal program for technicians, I remember when I was getting ready to launch the Heavy Duty Parts Report now almost 5 years ago. And I went and talked to a lot of the independent service shops and both at fleet level and at repair center level. And these independently owned aftermarket or independent service shops, they all said the same thing. There was that people who worked for the dealerships had all of the tools, all of the training, and people who worked on the independent service side really needed these resources. So from your perspective, how is this lack of training in the marketplace, both in the US and Canada, impacting our ability to recruit people into the industry?
It's twofold. It's given us troubles recruiting, but it's also given us troubles in retention. So the recruiting piece is, someone who might be interested in the field isn't going to feel confident coming in without an opportunity and to be able to see a career path laid out in front of them. So even at the OEM levels, training can be hard to get into just for, classes are full, there might be a wait list. And as you move down into the rest of it, you wind up looking at a situation where if I'm new to the field, I'm a technician, and I say, I want to be at this level of income or this tier of technician within 5 years, the pathway to get there is very hard to follow. You wind up, looking for different courses or looking for opportunities, and then you got to take time off from work to be able to do it. So unless your employer is actively engaged in your career advancement, it's kind of a double-edged sword. You wind up losing time on the shop floor and you're paying out of your own pocket. So in order for existing employers to retain these guys, they really have to not only sponsor and help them with the cost of the training, they also got to give them the time off and the opportunity to do it.